your initial reaction is you want to rush out and do everything all at once. A form of panic sets in, and you think, I've only got so long left and I want to do this and I've got to fit it all in, and you start thinking about doing things that would never have occurred to you before. We're off to Silverstone today, and I'm going to be driving a Lotus around the track. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's been on my wish list for quite a while now, so I'm really excited.
This is the car you'll be driving. It's a Lotus XE-Jets. It's got over 200 horsepower. It's a rear-wheel drive. It's a fabulous car for driving on track. Relax, enjoy it. Blip the throttle, slowly off the clutch, and then round.
I've got a bucket list, things that I want to do before I kick the bucket, and I'm ticking them off one at a time. I've been to Pompeii, and I've been to Rome, and I've been to Brazil, and I've been to a lot of places, experienced a lot of things, had some fantastic times with my husband and with my children, and formed a lot of happy memories for the future. So in the past 12 months I've done an awful lot, and I've got plans to do an awful lot more as well. Oh my God, how fantastic was that?
Just cut this bit here.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a knife? Where's the knife? Shh, don't tell Nanny, will you? Shh.
When she's not so well, then it'll be interesting to see, well, not interesting, but I hope everybody pulls together, and I'm sure we will. But I think Edward's the one that's going to, I need to be specially, take care of, because as he said, I know I just want to enjoy her while she's nice and like this, and I don't want to think about anything else. So. And that's how we've kept it. We don't hardly ever talk about it.
Should we eat it in secret? Shh. Taste it. Oh, this piece.
Monday the 23rd of February 2009. There has been much coverage in the media of late of Jade Goody's terminal cancer diagnosis, and much comment on how she is dealing with it. I've read several requests for her to die with dignity. Why? Why should we, those of us with terminal cancer, die with dignity? What's wrong with shouting and stamping your feet and complaining at the injustice of it all? Or what's wrong with wringing every single last bit of enjoyment out of life before we finally pop our clogs? And yes, fairly publicly if we want to. We're not dead yet, after all. What's wrong with using your situation to highlight awareness of your particular disease? Or maybe even to campaign to help others who in the future may be in the same position as you? The truth, of course, is that for many people, seeing or reading about someone who is approaching the end of their lives is an uncomfortable experience. It reminds them of their own mortality, especially if it's a young person. Death, it seems, is still the final taboo, especially an impending one. Some would prefer us, once we have been given that final sentence, once that dreadful word terminal has been used, to retire behind the sanitised walls of a hospital or a hospice and die quietly and unobtrusively. That is supposed to be dignified. But what dignity is there in that? What dignity is there in simply giving up, accepting your fate, quietly acquiescing for fear of upsetting someone? The true dignity in death is doing exactly what you want to do in your final days with your family and loved ones. maybe quietly, maybe going out with a bang, but it must be what you want and not what others expect of you.
This is probably the most noticeable lesion, the most noticeable metastasis. It hasn't changed very much since your previous scan, and the scan prior to the disease has been stable since you started the treatment. For example,
That's great.
I know that this is what you wanted to hear.
Yes.
Significance of early diagnosis for kidney cancer is extremely important, as for any other type of cancer. If that cancer is caught very early, then with an operation we can get rid of it and the patient is cured. However, if we take it too late, when the cancer has spread, then we can only contain it. Treatment of kidney cancer has been revolutionized in the last 2 years. I am optimistic because I know that there is a stream of new drugs being tested for kidney cancer.
All the new drugs, all the new treatments that are coming through, although they may seem very similar on the surface, are extremely important because they give us patients hope that we can turn what is now classed as a terminal illness into perhaps a long-term chronic condition, so that when one treatment fails to work, we can change to another one, and then change to another one, and extend our lives even more. So going from a state where 30 years ago there was virtually no treatment at all for kidney cancer, and now we have all these new drugs coming along online, one after another. I'm very positive and I'm very hopeful for the future now. I feel as if I have got a future now. 12 months ago, I really didn't feel like that.
Yes, you can pick that because it's a dandelion.
I think it's very difficult for anybody who isn't in my position to appreciate just how valuable, just how precious this extra time that I've been given is.
How many ladybirds did we see? 3.
I think I wish that people could come and see me at home with my family, see me running around the garden with my little granddaughter, to see just the way that ordinary everyday life carries on now here in my house.